The Tigers get the running game going and beat South Carolina 20-10. We're breaking it down on the Hannycast.
The Hannycast, a weekly LSU football film study with Charles Hanagriff and former LSU tight end Richard Dickson. Now to break down the Tiger tape, here's Charles and Richard.
And we welcome you into another edition of the Hannycast as LSU reaches the halfway point of the season with a 20-10 victory over South Carolina. I'm Charles Hanagriff, former Tiger Richard Dickson. Richard, we've been waiting to see the LSU run game get going. It got untracked in this game, and it went a long way towards why LSU was able to win.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to see in some of the passing plays, we finally started seeing single high coverage, guys playing man up in the box. It opened up a lot of things, especially couple of our touchdowns are getting one-on-one coverages. But there's things we see good in here. We're getting close, but we're still just a few clicks away that, we're not all the way there yet.
All right, some good stuff to get to. Let's get right to it. We're going to start with the defensive play, though, and the defense was outstanding in this game once again, allowing right at 12 points a game for the season. So that unit has done its job. This is a turnover that they caused. This is the first play from scrimmage for South Carolina, 1st and 10 from their own 17-yard line, and Lenore Sellers fumbled. Patrick Payton is in there on this one.
And what we're seeing is what we're asking the offensive line. Watch how these defensive linemen, they blow off the ball. They're fast. They're explosive. The fumble's on Lenore Sellers here, but watch Guillory right here. This is easily picked up by Sellers. If he doesn't get the push on the guard, knocks him over, they can't get to the ball. But it's just what I like to see from this defensive line is they're all firing off. They're changing the line of scrimmage.
Let me take a look at this again. Number 90, Jacobian Guillory. Wow. Dumps the offensive lineman right in the backfield.
That's a play you see a lot of times, a fumble snap where the quarterback falls on it. And you're like, it's still a solid play. It's no gain. But because he fires off the ball, hits the guard, knocks him into the quarterback, it allows us to get the ball.
Payton's recovery gave LSU great field position there after that fumble. Second play we're going to look at is a 1st and 10 immediately after that. And Jawan Johnson gets a 7-yard gain here, but once again, we almost right.
We're close, man. What I like to see if you've been watching along and watching a lot of these films, where we've struggled a lot is our combination blocks, double teams, guys working together, and this is one where God dang, Eccles does a hell of a job. They throw the center, they throw the nose tackle, they allow a lane. What's 30's name? First time I feel like I've seen him back here, but he's close right now. This could have been a walk-in touchdown. They slam the guy over. Bad hat placement on 30, but it's still a 7-yard gain on first down. Go back to the tight view. I just want you to see, hit pause real quick. This is dominant right here. Look at Eccles in 61. That is how you get this. This is where I'm going to get frustrated. This is 3rd and short, 1st and short. That's what you're looking for up front. Now, I want 71 to just go hit somebody. I feel like he's still questioning on who he's got, who he's supposed to go. I think if he just plays a little looser, hit the guy in front of you, we might walk in for a touchdown right there.
Both of them went right by
If you watch his hat placement, this is something he's got to know. 30, this is inside run. Your head's never going to the outside. So when he does this block right here, if you watch his head, he leans outside, bad placement. You got to know where the ball's going and where to put your head.
Here's a wide view.
But let's just start with what the positive is.
Yeah.
The guard and center right here, him throwing him over, shoving it, that creates the lane. That gets you those 3rd and short yardage.
So it does go down as a 7-yard gain to open up there on that drive. We're brought to you by Cina in Hammond, heart of downtown Hammond. Cina, an upscale Italian restaurant serving traditional dishes in contemporary fashion, inspired by the abundance of fresh local produce and the ways of old. Cina, creating a unique dining experience. Their goal is to use local ingredients and delicious recipes to create an exceptional dining experience, while also providing a fresh and inclusive atmosphere that can be enjoyed by everyone in the heart of downtown Hammond. Cina. All right, this next play we're going to look at is a 4-yard loss by Rashul Faison from South Carolina. This is a very well-timed blitz.
Yeah, and for the most part, what you heard a lot last year when Blake Baker was putting this defense together is everybody's got to play their role, and this is what's big about this play. Payton sets the edge, allows it to not get outside. You got Weeks and Perkins on a blitz. Weeks fills in, takes a blocker, and Perkins does a great job ripping.
There's your basic TFL for Perkins.
Yeah, I mean, and it's set up by 6. I mean, if 6 gets selfish and he tries to chew inside and doesn't hold that edge right there, that play could bounce. But because he did his job, set the edge, allow the blitz to work.
All right, before we go to this next play, I want to run a stat by you. LSU ran the ball, minus the kneel downs, 28 times in this game. Half of those runs went for 3 yards or less. But what was encouraging to me is, unlike in the Ole Miss game, they didn't give up on this. No. So this is one of those runs, okay? This is a 1-yard gain. You can tell me why it didn't get more, but there was a lot of this. We could have put more than just 1 or 2 in. This is what they had to keep after to eventually break some later in the game.
What it does is it makes the defense have to keep changing. They're going to start to respect that, hey, they're going to run these. You start seeing single high for the first time, I felt like, in a while. We're getting some single high coverages. They understand that we're not backing away from the run, and it made the defense start, pushing back, which allowed us to run the ball on them and some big throws.
All right, let's take a look here. This is a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, for me, if you go back, because this is the best view to see it for me, if you start it from the beginning. So this is a 3rd and 1 on the 49-yard line. We run a jumbo set. We move both our tackles over here. You're going to have Adams playing basically right tackle and Davis playing tight end on the right side. But if you look where they're at, they got to get pushed right here. I don't feel like they ever get a meaningful push. I think the left side of the line does a great job from the center over, but we really struggled on that right side to get the push. I mean, they started at the 49, and the play ends, and Adams is 5 yards backwards.
All right, when you set the all right, let me stop this where you tell me what they're trying. Okay, set it up. What are you trying to do here?
This is an inside to expand. You're going to see the
fullback
kicking out. These are power base blocks to get up on them. You're trying to get 1 yard. This is a 1 yard play. I think Durham's got to have a little bit more patience. I understand why he bails on it. It ends up opening. There's an A-gap hole right here that he probably gets the first down and no one's questioning it. But because the slow play and it's a little bit cloudy, he bounces outside where he's got no room.
You can get a whole lot of.
So I'm gonna tell you when to hit pause. Pause. This is where it's supposed to be hitting. I mean, you see the gap opening up, but because he gets kind of pushed to the outside, Davis is playing with his hat so high, there's no movement here. I feel like Bowers is a little bit nervous on where he's supposed to block, but this side did their job. You got backside cutoff, slam. The whole left side is blocked off. I think, if you're running back from the beginning, Durham kind of panics and gives up on it. And I see what he sees. He sees a linebacker right here free. And a lot of this is, I think, Thompson falls. He doesn't get up. But now I want Bowers to go. He's still tippy-toeing. He's slow playing it. If he goes right there where his eyes are, I mean, it's 3rd and 1. We're trying to get 1 yard. It's one-on-one with you in the back. Let's go. But right here, to me, is just not enough. If you look at both the defensive linemen, Davis is standing straight up. You can't do that. Adams is straight. They're both losing the pad level. They're both losing leverage in this situation. And, look where his feet are. This ball started on the 49. That's right here. The ball is snapped. We got no movement forward. We got no push. So he starts to panic when he sees this guy in the hole. They got nowhere to go. It looks like a dead play.
That's something that you brought up on multiple films is the first step is often where the whole thing starts to break down.
Yeah, I mean, it's just to me, this is technique and pad level.
They stack him up. Watch it again from the wide view. Okay, I'm watching this again. Durham does hesitate a little bit. It's almost like he glances inside and he sees that linebacker.
Watch Thompson. Thompson falls. This is a double team to the middle linebacker.
And he doesn't get there. So now Sharp's got to take him. That's probably not who Sharp was supposed to block. Yes. Thompson's supposed to get there.
And so his eyes go from look where he's supposed to be running. He sees this guy sitting right there, so he bounces. And then you don't get any movement here. And I still get, it starts with Thompson not getting up to the second level, but I still expect my two 5-star starting tackles to create a little bit of a push, and they get pushed backwards.
Not the best one. All right. We're going to move forward. This is a much better play. This is a 3rd down and 8 to South Carolina 26-yard line late in the first quarter. Nussmeier's going to Trey'Dez Green here, who had the best game receiving-wise of his LSU career.
He played lights out, and I kind of joke, but in a little bit of seriousness, when you watch this play develop, savvy veteran move to use the referee as a rub guy. He runs right off the referee's butt, knocks the guy off, and gets him some space.
You never did that, did you?
I looked for him every time.
Any help you can get.
Find the guy who's standing still. But, I mean, protection-wise, everything's good right here except for Davis. I mean, Davis has to understand where his help is. We got the chip to his side. He's got to get depth, trust his feet. But the biggest problem here is he shortens the edge. You're going to watch his feet, and you're going to see immediately when he turns his shoulder pads north and south. That's never good. I mean, he's got to, right here, keep getting depth. The running back's job is to knock him over, push him back in front of you. But when you turn your shoulder pads like that, you're just shortening the edge.
Let's go back and watch the rub in the middle of the field. Nice pick by the ump.
That move right there. You got to understand what a referee is.
Now, the rest of the protection is good enough because Nussmeier's got the ball for a while here.
No, I mean, watch. There's a pass off. Look, nobody started back because I forget. We've been talking about defensive linemen looping on us because we've struggled with it so much. No one's going to stop doing that, but we handled it well. Everybody picked it up. You're going to watch the D tackles loop. It's well passed off. I think Eccles does a good job with his hands. Everybody stays there, but it's just one time of Davis having bad pad level and pad leverage that he shortens the edge on him.
Seemed to me that Eccles had a pretty good game.
Eccles played really well. There was a couple problems he struggled with, but as far as just what I said in pregame and postgame about having the mentality, trying to fight somebody and push them around, he brought it.
Look, I understand he ain't going to be Alan Faneca in a week, okay,
No.
but I thought he did some nice job. We're brought to you by the Capital Area USSSA baseball affiliate, hosting events for all skills and levels. USSSA hosts league play and into rec all-star divisions, AA, AAA, and major league level state and national events. Exciting events lined up for the rest of the fall and into next spring. For more information, call Lane Petrie at 771-9095, 225-771-9095. All right, this next play was the long run by South Carolina. Fuller gets for 72 yards. This was the one time that South Carolina got over.
Yeah, I'm going to say the Weeks get 2/3 of this one. Witt's coming on a blitz, gets washed. You can't allow them to wash you through the hole like that. You got to understand what you're doing. Weeks bites on the and I'm not positive. I'm pretty sure it's Weeks being the leverage he was at. Weeks and Perkins both overflow to the end around, and then Cooley's got to make a play right here. You're a safety for a reason. You got to you're the last line of defense. But watch West. He gets completely washed. You got to have some leverage fight up, and then you see the eyes of Perkins and West. They fly with number 5 right here. Brings 2 guys out the hole, and that's where I think Cooley just settled his feet. He got a little bit nervous. He's got to have confidence to come flying down. When your feet get still, these athletes are too good. You lost a second or two, and you just can't catch up. He's got to have confidence to come flying down with good leverage and hat placement.
Outside of this, LSU's defense was
one bad play.
Yeah,
and I get it. They're worried about this. To me, it kind of starts with Witt. You can't give yourself up like that. I mean, I get you're trying to get there, but once you see the guy crashing, you got to fight back to keep that guy from expanding.
Touchdown late in the first quarter, and South Carolina went up at that point by a score of 7-3. This next one is one of the better rushes of the night. LSU 1st and 10 at their own 42-yard line, so neutral down here, and Caden Durham gets loose for 23, and this is another nice job by Cohen Eccles.
Yeah, and this isn't great necessarily execution by all of them, but you get a couple players right here where I want you to watch from this view. Look where Eccles pushes that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's pushing him
That's 8
10 yards
yards
down
off
the
the
field.
ball.
Yeah, he is. You're getting that push I haven't seen from anybody. He's driving that. I think Bowers, that's terrible. You can't. He's a backside cutoff, and if you go from the beginning, it's not like he didn't know what he was doing right there. His first steps to the inside, which, you don't ever reach stepping inside, but he steps here, gets bad hat placement, and gets beat inside, which almost wrecks the play. But there's a really good, balance by Durham. They get after his feet. He keeps on it, and he has that push from Eccles that allows him an area to run. And so this is I did make a note on this one because I almost want to get mad at Thompson right here. I'm almost positive this is defensive holding because they have a good push right here. They get a good double team. He tries to get to the linebacker. I'm pretty solid as defensive holding that prevents him from getting the next one. The way he spins off of the
around, yeah.
He had a hold of him, wouldn't allow him to get off. Because Thompson's been pretty good at those combination blocks and getting to the next level. And when I saw that, first step is Bauer Sharp gets killed just with bad hat placement. But then when you see that, he gets spun around, pretty obvious that the defensive lineman had his hands on him.
We're brought to you by Marucci, from a backyard shed to the top of the game. More than just a baseball bat company, a legacy built on passion and precision. 2 decades of crafting the finest wood, metal, and leather in the sport. Here to help you run the game at MarucciSports.com. And don't forget the Hitter's House, 5801 Segan Lane and 1801 Airline Drive in Metairie. Members get 24/7 access to the members-only cages, bullpen cage reservation opportunities, and a 15% discount at the rental store, at the rental properties. Go to MarucciSports.com.
Got really good hats for big guys.
Yeah, okay.
These big 3X hats are perfect.
What's the P for again?
The Pelicans. We're a Marucci
right.
organization, and they make some of the few hats that fit my head.
I knew that. That. This next one is a touchdown pass from Garrett Nussmeier to Trey'Dez Green. You like the design here, and they're back in the. Well, they get eventually into the star, which has been a
hit pause right here.
All right.
Do you see a receiver on the field other than Green / tight end? I think it's very savvy. I mean, this is a look you're not expecting anything other than a power run. You got 4 tight ends technically on the field right here. Nobody out wide. Tight bunch.
And this is first and goal.
This is first and goal. This is what we would call goal line package. But when you have a guy like Trey'Dez Green that you can pull out this goal line package, you're going to bring in an extra defensive lineman, probably a heavier linebacker, and then they explode the star and get everybody matched up one-on-one. I mean, it's unfair. I don't know why we haven't seen a lot of this. The first game we saw the touchdown on this.
All right, we did this against Clemson, right?
Yeah.
You can either be outnumbered at the bottom, or you can go in single coverage at the top.
Yeah.
And that's what Clemson chose to do, and LSU scored a touchdown. That's what South Carolina chose to do, and LSU scored a touchdown.
It's unfair at this point. Look at the corner, or I think he's a safety's leverage. You're taught right there to take away the slant, but when you got a guy that's 6'7", as long as there's a good throw, there's nothing they can do.
LSU hasn't shifted into that formation before. They came right out.
They did earlier, but not with the 4 tight ends. They did it with receivers. The last time I saw this, I want to believe that we had 2 tight ends in.
Okay.
But this was the first time we went from like a heavy goal line set and exploding into that formation.
Okay. If you are South Carolina, what would you do with this safety in the middle of the field? That may be a linebacker, but
this guy's got to be playing back to the middle. I'd put 17 over here to protect the slant, and I'd put the corner over the top. I would push everything back because you got numbers right here. You don't need anything. You got an extra hat. You got 1, 2, 3 for the blockers, 1 to fill for the run. I would push him back to the middle, slide 17 over to play. Because if you look at the corner, the way his leverage, he's taking away the slant. They don't want, what most are going to do. They don't. That's a big gap in the field right there. But I would slide 17 out to take away the slant, put the corner over the top, and try to force it to even be a better throw.
Because if 17 is going to play there and he doesn't take away the slant,
yeah.
Green's got the option to go. Yeah.
So at this point, you gave him the back corner of the end zone.
It's a tougher throw, but Nussmeier makes it here.
It's not as tough when he's 6'7". I mean,
true story.
You just throw that thing high.
Trey'Dez with a big game. We're brought to you by Bayou Apparel. If you're looking for anything LSU, go to everythinglsu.com. Made by locals, shipping from Baton Rouge. It's one of the few local LSU official licensees. Bayou Apparel offers the highest quality products. They'll showcase your brand, whether it's established or new. Bayou Apparel design expert will help you create eye-catching designs that fit your company's message. They do logos, event T-shirts, and promotional items for your business. You can call 928-9090, or you can go to everythinglsu.com. Bayou Apparel. This next play is a nice play. LSU gets 9 yards on this. This is Caden Durham off the. I'm not sure if this is the right or left side. Oh, that's why it's not in my notes in the middle. Okay. This is
another, run we're getting really close at. The center and guard play in this game, to me, was great.
All right, set it up here, what they're trying to do.
You're going to have a combination block up here. You're going to have down, pull around, and then the tight end's going to pull around. What I don't like about this play is 71 and 10, I'm not sure who they're supposed to block. I mean, they both get on somebody eventually, but if I'm the tackle, I'm taking immediate threat because you're right there close. And then 10 gets in there, doesn't get great pad level, and doesn't get much of a kick out. He just gets a stalemate, which makes it a little bit more cloudy. They get some hands on the feet of Durham, but I think Durham really played great with the great balance in this game.
Let's watch it here. Looked a lot better from the side.
Yeah, 71. I just want right there. You got down. I would rather him slam him down right here and let him go. But they play so timid, they're not. Yeah, they're not very sure if I don't know.
I got that right, huh?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
I just the timidness to me is what muddies the whole, because the guard, look, he's going to kick out the end. What 71 ends up doing, he sets him up, then blocks here. I want him to go ahead and take there, let the tight end wrap around.
He's got the angle here.
Yeah.
He's got the angle here. And if they both make these blocks, Sharp can get through the home block. This guy, I mean, that's asking a lot, I guess, but that.
But see, running back, this is where I get frustrated because it's so close. And I'm not, like I said, I don't know what they're taught to do, but hit pause or a half a second back. Now, right there, where's Adams' eyes? I think it's on this guy. And to me, that makes the most sense. He's the immediate threat. Let this clear out. Sharp's coming around. He can be cleanup, spill up, whatever comes around. But what he does is he settles his feet right there in the hole, and then he comes back to block the backside linebacker. It just what he's doing, it muddies the hole for me.
Now, this is a very nice jump cut by Durham. It is still a very 9 yards. I'm not going to. Believe me, the way the run game's been going, I'm not going to turn my nose up at 9 yards.
I just got questions on how it's truly designed. I mean, it doesn't put Bauer in a good spot at that point. I would rather him – he's right there. Take that guy, let Bowers clean up when he wraps around.
Okay, this next play is a pass from Garrett Nussmeier to Caden Durham, who's not really been involved in the pass game very much. They got decent protection here. Nussmeier may have gotten away with one.
I don't know if anybody would tell him to throw that ball again.
Okay, well, let's watch.
And look, I don't see a lot open. You get pretty good protection other than Davis getting bull rushed. But, man, when you see this from the back view, it's scary looking.
It's scary enough from the side. All right. Let's set up. This is just four-man front. Yeah.
Man.
Okay.
Simple coverage. I think everybody does a good job. Davis just has to get – this is another one where they loop, and Davis doesn't feel it, doesn't see it, and gets knocked off balance, knocked off guard. You think about a 6 game, he's seen this enough to play with better pad level and hand leverage. But right there scares the crap out of me. You got 2 guys sitting underneath it. Look, hell of a play, hell of a catch, big moment in the game. I wouldn't tell him to throw it again. I see what he's looking at now, but then
even to fit that in,
that's tough.
It's you've seen Major League, right?
Uh-huh.
Nice catch. Don't ever do it again. We are brought to you by Dependable Storage. With 8 locations across Louisiana and 1 in Gulfport, Mississippi, they'll match any competitor's pricing at Dependable Storage. Convenient online rentals and payments, free use of the moving truck, and new rental move-ins. Clean, secure, and conveniently located facilities. Check out the website at dependablestorage.com for locations, pricing, and rentals. Like Skip Burtman always says, at Dependable Storage, we want your stuff. All right, here's the touchdown pass from Nussmeier to Kyle Parker. This is a first down. They were behind the sticks after the penalty, a 1st and 20 at the South Carolina 43-yard line. And they're looking at single high here.
I think, Kyle Parker, to me, and Aaron Anderson have the most similar game. Very quick, cutty. But this is what we're talking about, why you stuck with the run game. They get into a single high coverage, a run-based defense, to where they're going to play man coverage, have numbers in the box, keep everybody in one high. But, this sets you up. We were always taught to throw in a single high. You get man coverage and a quick guy. This is when slants go for touchdowns.
Parker didn't even have to use a referee.
No, not at all. He just beat him with speed. But I think this is a great view for it. Look, you got everybody manned up because they're now respecting a little bit of the run game. We don't have a guy back there, but they've gotten into this formation to where they're going to say, all right, we're going to single high here, which they're going to put man up on each guy's thinking that they can cover him, but it leaves the middle of the field wide open.
To the end zone or the touchdown. And now we're going to go to a play here where, all right, so the last time you said they're respecting the run, even though there's no back there, because Nussmeier could theoretically take off, which he usually doesn't do, except here he does.
Yeah, and this one I almost feel like he's a little bit forced to. He gets a little bit of pressure, but there's times in the past where he backs up and he tries to keep backing up, moving around. But this is one of those times the bay door is open and he takes off. And that's a big run on this point. What was it?
It was third down and 6 from their own 12-yard line.
There's a lot of times where we're punting in this situation because he's continuing to look for somebody to throw.
Hal, open the bay doors. All right, what are we seeing here?
So let it roll, and then I can probably explain a little bit more. Everybody bases up. They run the loopers again, and that last minute, Braylon Moore getting back and pushing him opens that gap. And it's the first time I've seen the gap open and Nussmeier takes it.
All right, here's the view I wanted to see.
Yeah, so a lot of the times when you're going to see
you're running two loops here again?
You're going to get a looper right here.
Okay.
And this is a blitz coming in, nose tackle slanting. But there's so many times this happens where Nuss's biggest thing is he retreats. And I think that probably where he couldn't retreat is Davis gets beat really bad on this way that forces him to step up. And then when he's forced to step up, he's like, I don't need 6 yards, take off.
End up with a lot of room here. All right, let's watch the pressure off the right side, though.
Yeah, this is what scares me because I don't know in this situation if Davis gets a good block, Nussmeier probably continues to look. But in some of these situations when it's a 3rd and 6 and they're going to run man coverage like that, you just got to take it and get what you can get.
Not to single him out, okay? He's a freshman. This is start 5, I believe, for Weston Davis. But Kelly was asked about it, and he acknowledged, okay, the young man's got a lot of talent. There are some things that he's struggling with right now. Are you going to make any kind of change up front? We've talked about this on the Daily Show. They have said, no, this is our guy. So now this is about teaching him these techniques and him refining these techniques, and you'd hoped he would be a little bit further along, but they have been patient. It's not like he didn't make any good plays in the game, but there's some stuff that he's got to work on.
When you look at Weston Davis, he looks like a prototypical first-round tackle. He's tall, he's athletic, thin, moves pretty well. But to this point, it's just he hasn't refined the technicalities of the game of playing with a lower hat, using his hands, understanding, when a guy leaves, somebody's replacing. And that's the biggest thing that, try to teach young kids is nobody runs away from you to make your job easier. They run away from you to get your eyes somewhere else because somebody else is coming. And that's just some of the things that he's got to pick up on.
All right, let's take a look at this play. This is the longest gain of the night for LSU. Late in the third quarter, first down from their own 33-yard line, and Jawan Johnson gets loose for 56.
Best play of the season for me. It's the first time I've seen all 5 guys get their blocks. First time it's well executed. We're not talking about everybody did it except for this guy or could have been better. No, this was blocked perfectly. Everybody got their job done. I give everybody an A grade on the blocks. The biggest thing, you'll see it a lot better from the backside. I think the combination of Moore and Eccles is freaking awesome. Like they're combo blocking really well together.
Okay, let's take a look here.
So they're going to combo up, and what you see, they're going to get a big push right here. You're going to get a backside cutoff. It's okay, but he handles his job. Job's complete. Everybody gets a hat on a guy. No one has bad footwork. No one loses their block or takes a bad step. This is how the run game's supposed to be played.
I like Eccles back in camp. I like him more. I think he's got a real bright future.
Everybody liked him.
He reminds me so much of Trey Turner.
All right, I'm going to tell you to hit pause now.
That's a pretty big old hole.
Hat on a hat, hat on a hat, hat on a hat. Both guys. Like this is the best run play all year. This is how the play is designed. It worked out to what you wanted them to do. No one screwed up. No one got the wrong guy. No one had bad leverage. Green a little bit high, but he's freaking 6'7". But he comes in here. If you replay it, this is what I love about Green. He doesn't always have the best technique, but he puts his body on the line. I think he comes across and takes that hit. That's a hit. Bad
that's high
body
impact,
position. Yeah, but he took it full on, and that makes the play. If he scares away from that, gives him a shoulder, that guy could maybe tackle him on the backside. But he does his job here.
Keep your head up.
Yeah, keep your head up because you knock yourself out. But Davis has his eyes on the right guy. I'm happy with this. I wish I could get this 10 times a game.
Well, all you need is 10. Okay, and then
watch Barry and Brown come in, mega play.
Just kind of. He didn't even hit him, I don't think.
No, but he got him move.
Yeah, he made him move. Yeah, that's it.
Now, Juwan, you got better speed. Go finish one of these runs.
So you like that? All you want is 10 more of that, right?
10 more.
56 yards. 560 yards rushing would be really good.
I get one more. I mean, this is the happiest I've done ending a film study.
We got one more after this one, but this is pretty to watch. Everything opens up. Take him out.
It's just the first time I've seen everybody complete their job.
We're brought to you by Town Square Pizza. For pickup or delivery and catering available downtown Baton Rouge on North Boulevard. For all you out-of-towners coming in for LSU games, they're open on Friday and Saturday night until 8 o'clock, Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. If you're working downtown, delicious, personalized pizza, the Square Pizza with unmatched speed. You got a limited amount of time downtown for lunch. Get in to Town Square Pizza. Let them get this generous sizes, generous portions to take back to either eat there or take back to your office. And then, of course, you're probably going to have some leftovers. Town Square Pizza on North Boulevard. Last play is we'll finish on another positive one. This is a 2nd down and 10. This is late in the ball game, inside of 5 minutes. And Caden Durham gets loose for 15.
Like this is a run heavy episode, but that's been our biggest questions. It's been my biggest concerns, and I wanted to go back and look at what they did successfully. And this is another one where you just get a lot of push. Get hats on guys. Guys get into the right spaces. Look, you don't have to have a 56-yard run for it to be successful. A lot of the times you're looking for 4 to 5 yards. But the push by Eccles right here, sticking with your guy, I mean, everybody gets a hat on it. The double team right here, next level. Watch Jalen Watkins, the wide receiver, coming getting a block. Yeah. That's key right there. He flies in there, gets a block. Everybody is getting to somebody, and I mean this. And
this is off the right side. Okay,
the last two plays were Davis's best plays. I mean, watch him. He seals them up. Good pad level fights, gets his hands in. Everybody's fighting right here. This gives me hope. I mean, like I said, I watched this whole deal, and I was angry with a couple guys. And I get to the end, I'm like, well, look, do that every time. Like, get that fire and you fight off. I mean, that dude is a freaking, from what I'm hearing, 1st, 2nd round pick, DN.
Yes,
you can do it 1 or 2 times. You can do it most of the game.
There's always a possibility people will improve. Yeah. That's why the questions it's not that I hate them. It's just that they're so difficult to answer and say, well, if they did this in this game, well, then it means they can't win this game and they're going to win this game. And you try to map out the rest of the season. Well, if they did this in this game, well, then this is what's going to happen. No, we should know better by now. Some guys get better. Some guys don't, but some guys get better. We want this team to be better in November than they were in September.
You get better, and this is where I agree with you what my frustration is you get better on understanding what the players are doing, what defenses are called, where they're going, how they're trying to attack you, and where your eyes should be. Your hat placement should be good day one. I mean, that's what camp's for. That's what spring's for. You have 15 practices in the spring. You hit the pads all summer. You have 3 weeks of camp. You shouldn't have bad hat placement and hand placement. That's stuff that coaching, fixes. The numbers game and blitzes and slants and, that crap you get better at as the season's going because you're seeing how people are trying to attack you. When you're you're playing high, your hands aren't getting where they're supposed to be, that's stuff that you do on dummies. And that's where I get frustrated. In those last 2 plays, they did really well. But it took a long time to get to where, okay, now we're going to start playing with proper technique.
No. You got a tall task this week because Vanderbilt is very good.
No.
This is not a one-man operation. This is not just Diego Pavia.
You know LSU history better than anybody that I know. When was the last time Vanderbilt was a favorite against LSU?
Never. Oh, the 40s. But in the modern day, never. In fact, you got to go back over 50 games where they were favored against anybody in the Southeastern Conference. And even further than that, there's a dispute about whether they were favored over a ranked team in the 70s or not. I'm not making this up. But this is unprecedented.
No.
And, the stats I looked at today, we understand what Diego Pavia has brought to that program, a little bit of a swagger, and, a rising tide lifts all ships. It's helped everywhere. But this is a very good line of scrimmage team. They have when I look at stats, it's rush defense and rush offense. Okay, that's line of scrimmage stuff. They're better in the rush offense and better in the rush defense than both Alabama and Georgia. These are the two teams that are widely considered as the most physical and the most dominant at the line of scrimmage. That's why over the last 15 years they've been the 2 best programs, is because up front they've been better. Well, Vanderbilt's numbers through 6 games are better than either one of them. So that ought to tell you it's not just a quarterback. It's going to be a big task for LSU. You can't let the early start get to you. This is going to be a tough game.
Yeah, when you say it's not just the quarterback, I agree with you. But the quarterback is giving these guys belief, giving these guys energy, giving these guys a level of confidence they're not used to playing with. Vanderbilt. He's leading that team.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for checking us out this week. We'll be back next week with another version of the Hannycast.